we shall recover, we shall overcome, and we shall prosper. God bless South Africa and her people.
Have you been writing some comedy? I can see maybe the return of Thomas Gumede on our stand-up comedy stages.
Definitely, man. I won't lie. Like, I've been putting comedy on a back burner. I've been writing lots of comedy, but I haven't been performing because I've been trying to make TV, act, direct, produce. But now that I can't go on stage, it's the one thing that I miss the most. I'm like, because I'm just having 100 people, thousands of people looking at you like this. I miss it so much. It's worth more than any paycheck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Tell us a joke now.
A joke now?
Yeah. Come on.
When you see a nurse walking down the street, you say, just quickly bandage me up. If you see an accountant, you just say to them, no, man, I'm silent. Fast. I'm silent. What? We don't do that, man. We don't do that.
And then maybe the hip-hop career is going to come back with Mr. Tommy Two Gates.
I guess, man. I tried, I did 1 or 2 tracks, and I just realized, let me let the kids run with it. You know what I'm saying? Let me let the kids run with it.
Have you had time to reflect about La Thug life? The tattoo, me.
Yeah, no, look, during COVID right now, with all the food I've been eating, you can't see the tea properly because of my stomach. It's actually hard life right now.
How has this lockdown affected people mentally?
Yeah, you see, it's a very good question because we may be dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, but the individuals that were dealing with depressive disorders, anxiety disorders, schizophrenia, all those disorders are still living in that reality. It's not COVID-19 comes and that pauses. So I think people that were experiencing that still need access to those services and the treatment and all of that, but also at the same time, a situation like this in which we're seeing threats to job security, salaries, all of those things, it's going to exacerbate your psychological stress. It's going to exacerbate your depressive symptoms. Your anxiety is going to flare up. So it's things like that that one needs to keep in mind, that there's a lot of psychosocial and structural factors that is going to increase stress and therefore have impact on psychological health and well-being.
And what would you advise in terms of when people dealing with these anxiety and stress, how can people deal with it at home?
Yeah, I would say in a time like this where we are aware that a lot of things are out of our hands, a lot of it's out of our control, we're just trying to see how things play out on a week-by-week basis. I think in moments like that, we need to try and dig deep to make sure that we are on an individual level of sound mind and physical health. And we need to say, okay, how can I implement structure? How can I implement routine? Am I still getting the same amount of sleep I was getting before? What about my appetite? Am I burning less calories yet consuming more? Is that resulting in a bit of weight gain? What is that doing to my energy? What is it doing to my self-esteem, my motivation? And I think if we can implement certain routines and put that in place and maintain some level of structure, we can make sure that when we deal with the changing tides each week, we deal with it in the most optimal state that we can find ourselves in by making sure that our physical and our psychological health is monitored and taken care of.
You've been giving back and doing amazing stuff, the Thando Thabethe Foundation and the Booth Foundation. Tell us more, what have you been doing and how can we help as well as the viewers?
So we basically just decided, well, we've known that hunger is an issue in this country for a very long time.
Yes.
But it's probably exacerbated by COVID-19. So we thought, how could we help? And literally it started with us taking money from our own pockets and buying like groceries to make food and then dish it out. And then we were like, what else can we do that's, will last a little bit longer? So we decided to buy actual groceries.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've since had help from the Spa in Parkmore who have literally given us stock. And there's a sell-by date. You know how every shop has a sell-by date,
yes,
but the food is not necessarily off. And what a lot of these food chains do is throw that food away. Which, there's so many people that are hungry. I mean, the other day we went to Alex to feed some people, and we couldn't reach the numbers that were waiting for us. We literally had about 150 people waiting for parcels. We only had about 43 parcels. And so all the help we can get would be incredible.
How can they help? How can they participate in this amazing initiative that you're doing?
So obviously, because we are listening to the president and social distancing, we're unable to physically all get together. So the only other way is to give us the money to buy the food. You can contact me at Thando_Thabethe or at Booth Foundation on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And also for people who are in need of help, because we're constantly looking where can we go.